Quack! Quack! Come on, get your tail feathers up. Quack! Quack! 12 and 0. I am your host, Adam Shamail.
And I'm Aaron Schroeder.
That's right, and together we are the Quack 12 podcast. I don't like that. I threw in some new words in the intro, and it's already throwing me off. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry, listeners.
Adam, I hate to break it to you this early in the show, brother.
What's that?
But all the words you used have already been invented. We're not new words.
That's true. I think about that sometimes. Like if you say some true gibberish and say 9 words in a row, like Hacker, Smackle, Dingle, Bat, Phil Knight, Go Ducks, Tinger, Schmidt.
Yep.
All what I just said there. Like in the history of the universe, do you think anyone said those exact things in that way? Probably not, actually, right?
Probably not.
Probably not, because it's so random the things I just said.
I mean, it was happening in the moment, so...
Exactly. And to throw in a Go Ducks in there and Phil Knight, you'd have to say both of those. I think about this all the time, honestly.
Don't.
It's not that hard to say something original. It's hard to say something original that makes sense.
Shakespeare was the last guy to do it.
But if you get 5,000 monkeys and they're immortal and you know what I mean, they'd write all of Shakespeare.
That's
right. Put them in a room together, made them chain smoke cigarettes.
Hey,
Aaron, the Quack.
You could say the same thing about about being the Oregon Ducks. You put a whole bunch of just put some fucking barnyard animals out on a field, and you've got basically what we were doing.
What you're saying is one day we have to win the national championship just because it's inevitable.
That's
just like those monkeys writing Shakespeare.
That's what I'm saying.
It's bound to happen. P.S. is the Quack 12 podcast, the most official, unofficial Oregon Ducks podcast on the web footosphere. Aaron, I actually watched some football, and it was not the Ducks. It was SEC football because it was for the national championship, my man.
Oh.
Now, I know you are really, you're paying attention to the Ducks, barely paying attention to the Pac-12, and basically just not at all paying attention to the rest of college football. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I assumed it was over.
Well, no, the national championship just happened on the 10th, and let me tell you, it was actually a really entertaining one because Georgia versus Alabama, usually that is boring as hell, and it looked like it was just going to be, because Alabama, after all season being like, oh, this isn't last year or the year before Alabama. Like, this Alabama's a little bit weaker on defense, a little bit more mortal on offense, but still probably one of the best teams in the country. Georgia looked just by far the best. Their defense was insane. Is practically an NFL defense right now, how much NFL talent they have.
And that's what we're getting, correct, is the defense guy?
Yeah, we're getting the defensive coordinator, Dan Lanning, and he's stuck around, so he's there in this national championship game. Sure. Now, a couple weeks, as he should be, Cristobal, now, about a month or something before, or not a month, I forget exactly how long ago, but when they played each other in the SEC championship game, Alabama just destroyed Georgia, and it just deflated them because, again, Georgia just has a history of just getting beaten by Alabama. They're always the number 2 team, especially in the South, but like in college football in general.
Yeah.
Tua came in and just humiliated them, lost their best chance. I mean, they've been in the playoffs, but they're always second banana. Haven't won a national championship since 1980. However, though, with this ridiculously good defense and a pretty good quarterback and some unfortunate and fortunate injury luck in their favor, hate to say it, but they actually pulled off the win, and they won 33-18.
Dang.
And it was fun to watch, and it was mainly there was a late pick 6 to kind of seal the win. And
that's where the 38 shows up.
Mm-hmm. And it was way more of or 33, yeah. But there was way more of this was a defensive just effort. It was like the only touchdown that Bama scored was late in the game, and it was because they had a short field because Stinson Bennett turned over the ball. So
It was a
like
fight.
really in his own territory, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were like
And
busting up.
but for us, man, Dan Lanning on the sideline immediately afterwards when they interviewed him, he said like, he was like, "Go Dogs and go Ducks!" Like already plugging for it. He's already in Eugene, so he just immediately came back to Eugene. That's good PR for us. Like we got this dude who's possibly a better recruiter than Cristobal, maybe. That's tough. But
Well, he's a national championship winning coach is what he is.
He's got that ring, baby. He's got that ring.
When you walk into some kid's living room with 10 pounds of awesome on your finger,
yeah,
it carries a lot of power.
Cristobal had that too, actually, because he won it when he was at Miami. But that ain't.
But we don't
I
talk
don't know
about that.
Yeah, I need to stop. Look at me. I'm talking about our ex. How embarrassing. Oh boy. So that was a fun game to watch, but also just really good to see Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning representing the Ducks, looking good. I'm stoked about that. Aaron, before we get into the basketball beat, P.S. remind me to make some kind of fun little vid or song for basketball beat because we need a basketball beat intro song.
It'll be like the sound of a basketball going like bouncing. Ba-bump, 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 basketball beat.
Maybe I'll take that audio. Honestly, maybe we just did it.
Maybe we just did it. That is a bit on the nose of.
I don't care.
I'm getting in the weeds here. Wonder Chosen.
Oh, they're canceled.
Beat
We're alive. They're dead.
Anyway,
he's got that Curtis Blow kind of feel. Ha 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 ha. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. Anyways, I got totally sidetracked there. Before we get into the basketball beat, I would like to take a second to talk about our sponsors, which is the Quack 12 podcast. That's right. And fans like you. Listeners, why don't you help us out? First of all, we're just going to plug ourselves here. We got a Twitter account at Quack 12 podcast. We got a YouTube channel, which you can watch. Like right now, you're seeing me and Aaron. If you're watching on there, you're seeing my Christmas present. I forgot to shout this out. That's right, everyone who can see this.
You totally shouted that out last week midstream. We were.
Oh, was it as awkward as this?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm wearing my Webfoot's 16 throwback jersey. Darkest game in our history, and apparently I forgot it. Who knows? Time is a flat circle. But you can help us out by going either of those and just liking that shit, subscribing, or you can give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. That really helps us out. Apparently Spotify too. Rate us there. Leave us a comment.
Look.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Stop. No, we will not endorse Spotify. That is the worst of the streaming apps. If you're on Spotify, get out of there. Save yourself. Trust me. Go to Tidal,
you know what?
Or go to Apple Music. Get out of Spotify. Go to Pandora.
Unless they're a sponsor, then we will absolutely change our tune. Amazon, same for you. So give us 5 stars there. Does help us out. Not only that, but the thing that'll really help us out is giving us that Skrilla. And in exchange for that, we're going to give you access to some premium Quack 12 content. I'm talking about a time-traveling series called Quack in Time, in which my companion Aaron and I go through the decades, through the years, through the Oregon football seasons, and just report back from the day, man. And it comes straight to your ears through magic. We'll just leave it at that. That's a really fun series. You learn your Oregon football history. We break down big bowl games. We have quizzes on there. We have a really good, mainly history, but a lot of fun stuff. We got Duck D&D, a fun game Aaron and I created when we couldn't play football because of the pandemic. It was a lot of fun. Go there. Go to quack12podcast.com. That'll lead you to our Patreon. Aaron, you got anything to say while we're plugging here?
Just that I have it on good word from multiple listeners that the Duck D&D season was better than the real season that year.
True.
And so if that's any reason to go give us $5,
That is
go
very
watch
true.
a truly great football or listen to a truly great football season.
Yeah, because I mean, would you rather a magical journey through football lore, or would you rather watch some of the 2020 highlights? No, thank you. Unless it's that
You
Rose
know,
Bowl, no, thank you.
we have no time to play a great game of Would You Rather. Let's get back to the fucking good news.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. My friend, basketball beat. Maybe I think I like the first one better. I think we're gonna use
First
that.
one was more organic.
My friend, you want to talk about women's basketball? Or you want to talk about men's basketball really quick?
Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first. Ladies, I'm again like kind of all season. I'm feeling more optimistic about them than the men's. I'm seeing a little more hustle out of them, especially
We got players back.
we got players back, baby. It feels really good. Now, we played against number 2 Stanford, if you remember. Last time we plugged this, we went against them. They fought hard, my friend. Keep in mind, this is in Stanford, and this is, they were the national champions. We lost 80-68. But I'll tell you this. We gave them hell. This is against number 2 Stanford. Again, mind you, we were down by we erased an 18-point second half deficit before falling 80-68. And actually, our team looked pretty solid against a juggernaut. In the fourth quarter, I think it got down to like under 3 minutes. I'm trying to pull it up here. Under 3 minutes left. We 450. Wow. It was a close game. Wow. Can you mark this? I can't believe I lost this part as an editing spot.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it out loud right now because I know your answer and it'll be hilarious.
What?
Do you edit the videos before it goes up on YouTube?
No, this is going to be a good one.
Right.
Here we go.
All right.
So with 5:22 left to play, we got it within 8 points, 70-62 in that final quarter. But Stanford pulled away. Specifically, Lexi Hull hit a 3-pointer, and they hit their free throws, and it was done. But Oregon responded really well, even early on. Like when we fell behind 6-2, we went on a 9-2 run. A lot of these players were just, I mean, we got like Tina Paopao, Sabali. The only real starter, India Rogers, came back to play some first like serious minutes. The only true like GOAT starter that we didn't start is Stona Prince. Stona Prince is out. We don't want to, I don't believe we have any real official reason why she's out. Don't want to speculate. There is a global pandemic going on. Possibly that has something to do with it, but I don't know.
Really?
She's been, yeah. Who knows?
I mean, the times that you are required to stay out now, it's like 5 days. I don't know.
It could have just fallen in a really bad time. I don't know. It could be injury. Who knows?
Maybe
But
she's not for the season.
Oh, hey, come on. Don't you jinx that. Don't you break that news. India Rogers scored 22 points against Stanford. That's pretty damn good. Ninara Sabali, 19 points. Tahina Paopao, 14 points. Now, there were a lot of shots taken. Paopao was 4 of 18. Sabali was 7 of 15. Rogers, 8 of 15. But was a perfect 3 of 3 from three-point land. That's fun. And then Paopao was 1 of 7 from long range. So that would have helped, but I mean, it was a team effort, this loss. So that's a tough one. Stanford's one of the best teams. But then we went against California.
What was our sorry, real quick, what was our total shot count?
Let me pull it up once more.
I
Okay,
don't
so I
worry
got it.
about it. Let's move
No, I
forward.
got it here. 24. We shot the ball 66 times. Kind of pretty close to the number of the beast. So maybe that's why we lost. We were 24 of 66 for 36.
24 of 66.
We shot
That
it.
is not good.
That's a 36% clip, my man.
Yeah.
We were 7 of 17 from long range.
That is so far away from 1 point per minute.
Yeah, I know. I should literally just tell you that. I should pull up that stat for every single one of these games and be like, here you go. We didn't do
We've
it.
created a new stat line.
Well, unfortunately, what I'm using too doesn't, which is the U of O official website, doesn't actually have their minutes written out, which is annoying.
That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. Tina Papao, 21 points against Cal Golden Bears. Cal is not all that good. Let's just start off by saying that.
Okay.
They ain't no Stanford, that's for sure. But Pow, 21 points, 4 or 5 from long range. Sydney Parrish, who, definitely had to step up when we had so many injuries out. Parrish, 7 of 9 from deep. 7 3-pointers. That's pretty damn good, man.
That's very good.
That's very good. India Rogers missed all 4 of her attempts, but still managed to get 12 points by getting 8 free throws. Overall, we've been a pretty decent free throw. Yeah, I know.
Why are they going after her?
It was more like she's going after them, and they got to try to stop her, and so they foul her. You know what I mean? She's an aggressive player. I liked her. We're getting a lot of bench players in this one. Like, of course, hey, Filipina Che, my favorite. 3. She got 6 points. Kylie Watson. So we got all our bigs out there. Shania Pinto, who's been really fun to watch. So this was a good game for developing depth. We won 88-53. Again, they ain't very good, but the whole team was there. We're getting that practice. Now we were supposed to, on my birthday, January 13th, we were supposed to play the Sun Devils. However, that game has been postponed due to COVID on Arizona State side.
Of course.
Yes. So after that, January 15th, you really wish that actually we could have played them, because at this point, I bet you will probably try to schedule maybe someone else just to get a low level school, Southern Oregon or something, just to get that practice, because our next couple of games are pretty huge here. We've got on January 15th, Saturday, God willing, we play this game. Number 7, Arizona, the other team in the national championship, unless I'm wrong. I kind of forgot. Arizona versus Stanford, I believe. So that's going to be a tough one in Eugene. And then, unranked, that's kind of nuts, but against UConn, historically an amazing team.
Yeah.
So we'll be going against the UConn Huskies, then against the Washington schools. So yeah, women's team, if they win their next couple of games, that'll be quite the trajectory up, is my guess. That'll feel good, especially with all those players returning. Now, Aaron, men's basketball.
Oh boy.
Well, we were supposed to travel, I do believe, to Colorado. However, we did not, because that game was postponed due to COVID on, I can't even remember whose side. It may have been our side. I can't remember. Probably their side.
I was about to say, if you can't remember, it's probably because you willfully forgot it.
Yeah. But then we had another game against the Oregon State Beavers. Oregon State Beavers ain't good this season. Truly ain't good. However,
wasn't that the same last year?
Yeah, they were. No, actually, they were pretty. Didn't they? Yeah, they made it to the dance, I do believe. Unless I'm crazy, no, they made it to the dance, my man. It was fun because they beat us in the Pac-12 tournament. They won the whole Pac-12 tournament. Yeah, they're pretty good last year.
Buttheads.
But they lost too much talent now. And
good.
Oregon State, we went against them, and I'll just tell you now, we barely squeaked out a victory. Kind of because they missed a shot that they should have at the very last second. That would have tied it.
Sure.
And I'm not having it, man. We looked it was a very competitive game. Not many people, in Corvallis, but enough people that it was definitely a home court advantage for them. But I don't know. It was just kind of underwhelming win, but we won. I can't really tell you who looked especially good on our side. I certainly didn't think Will Richardson looked all that good, and he's supposed to be the crux of the team. He finished 4 of 11. He's just not very good at creating his own shots. Or 2 of 6 from deep. Other than that, like some of the other supposed kind of playmakers on this, we got Devion Harmon, 4 of 8 from the floor. Quincy Guerrier, finally said his name right, 3 of 8 and 0 of 4 from deep. My favorite player on this team to watch, anyways, is got to be Jacob Young, obviously brother of Joe Young, Oregon great, who is the Pac-12, player of the year or whatever years ago. But Jacob Young, it's just got a lot of spunk in him. I like it. Went 7 of 14 from the floor, but went at it. Led the team with 16 points. So in a game like this, that means a lot. I don't know. This game kind of stunk. Up next is a huge freaking test because we got UCLA. And UCLA is very good. Very good. How good, you may ask? Well, let's
Adam,
go to the... Yes?
how good are they?
That's a wonderful question, my man. The Pac-12 men's basketball standings. Now, right now, number 6, Arizona leads it all. It's number 6 in the nation, mind you. Pac-12 is actually good at basketball. They're 12-1, 2-0 in conference play. Behind them is UCLA, which is 10-1, 2-0 in conference. They are ranked number 3 in the country. And I believe the team that they lost to is Gonzaga. I think that's the only team they've lost to, unless I'm losing my mind. And then USC, number 5, USC, 13-1. That's nuts. And then we are behind Colorado, behind Stanford. We currently sit with a 9-6, 2-2 record in freaking 6th place in the Pac-12. That ain't very fun. Women's basketball, I'll just tell you now, we're actually 5th with a 8-5, 1-1 record. Colorado, surprisingly, a really good women's basketball Colorado team, undefeated, 13-0. Ranked number 21. That's pretty cool. I've never really seen that. They're doing well. Then number 2, Stanford, number 7, Arizona. So I don't know. Hopefully Ducks make some. We're underdogs. I'll tell you that in a lot of these games. And that's at least fun somewhat,
I mean, we'll see. Hopefully it makes it fun. It's
unless we just get our
usually not.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
usually you're like, lost another one.
Yeah.
There you go. Missed that one too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe there's a glimmer of no. I'll tell you this.
Hit me.
We were underdogs against Ohio State, weren't we? And that made that win so much sweeter.
I would love to go back. What was it about that game that we were so good at?
Well, I really think it's
because why did we biff it so bad on the back end?
I mean, part of it is, what is Ohio State bad at? And if you watch that Pac-12 championship, it was kind of just like they weren't very physical on the line, especially like on the edges, and you can really push them around, and there were yards to be had against that defense. I see. They were also probably attacking us in a different way than they would attack us if we made it to the Rose Bowl. If we somehow beat Utah in the Pac-12 championship game and we played Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, they wouldn't play us as like cautiously. They wouldn't be playing like, okay, we got to make sure Anthony Brown, this veteran quarterback who can throw deep, make sure that he doesn't do that to us. Because if they watched all the tape of us play this season, they'd be like, no, we want him to try to, like, because they're not going to throw apparently, or if they do throw, it'll be a baffling miss or I think they would play us different, and they would have embarrassed us worse than that heartbreaking loss that Utah suffered.
I don't know.
Hey, everyone's got an opinion. Okay, so on to the second half of this wonderful podcast of ours. Aaron, I got a fun little fun little game for us, if you will.
Okay.
This is
I like games. Unless they're relationships. I don't like playing games.
No. We don't like head games. All right. We don't want no scrubs in this podcast.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for that scrubs.
Please leave us 5 stars in the comments on Apple Podcast only. And in the comments, please say this podcast truly suffers no scrubs. And we'll know you're the number one fan. Aaron, this game is called the Quackground check, in which you and I are going to go through all these coaches, which we've loosely talked about as they've been hired. We're a weekly podcast, so we can't, it's not breaking news, but we got basically a whole coaching staff,
right?
And probably everyone we're going to get, and we want to look through them.
No, let's lick through them, baby.
And we're going to do some simple Google searching, baby. We're going to see if we can find some dirt looking through those message boards. We're going to try to slide some DMs.
What massive football programs allow is Google to let bad press seep through.
Hey, sometimes you don't have a choice, baby.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah. My man, I'm glad you have that Google device there.
I got my device ready to go.
And yeah, well, let's pull up these guys. We're also going to look at the official U of O kind of graphics they have. We're using here. So we got Dan Lanning. He's a national champion, right?
Is that our guy?
That's our guy. Looks like our lawyer, Kyle Madsen, actually. I've always said that. He's a very young man. I mean, there's not really much to have dirt on him because his career is very short. He really hasn't been doing it for too long. I mean, he was goddamn born in 1986. That is nuts.
Wow, 86?
Mm-hmm.
And he's the head coach of the Oregon Ducks?
He's 35 years old. And we're going to get on to some other very young people.
Very good for him. Bravo, sir.
Born in North Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City Star. That's what I are. Yoki doki doki. You ought to see my car. Apparently played at William Jewell College, as we all know, because that was a very funny thing in which his brother broke the news on Space, where he's like, well, you don't got to worry about him going to, like his old alma mater, his dream school or anything, because he went to freaking William Jewell. He was a linebacker. So let that be known. He's just, the thing about this guy is he's risen up the ranks so quickly into such a high status job, into such an amazing historic defense, that anyone who's championing this guy is excited because of the potential there, even though he has not been a head coach anywhere. That's definitely the biggest question mark on this dude. Never been a head coach.
It's too crazy.
I mean, an amazing recruiter, though.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
From my deep dive that I just took.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any scandals in his background.
Absolutely. No. And you're one of the ace reporters in the country.
Amen to that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. The guy's so squeaky clean. That's almost the negative on him, is that he's so squeaky clean. You know what I mean?
I mean,
because he's so fresh. He's so green. He doesn't have that experience. But we'll see what happens. I'm very excited about him.
That mustache definitely tells a different tale, though.
Well,
that mustache is the mustache of a wild man.
I know he does have
a cowboy.
He does have a hint of wild in his eyes. And I truly see that. Well, and I think his energy and his excitement to be here, even if he's thinking like, man, one day I hope I get to replace Nick Saban. You know what I mean? In 4 years, I hope I get if that's his freaking end game, or replace Kirby Smart. I want to go back to Georgia, but be the head coach one of these days. If that's his end game, I still believe he's very excited to win some football games here and to get to a playoff like as quickly as possible. And whenever you have a head coach and they got a big question mark about him, but his recruiting is stellar, as long as you don't get those sanctions, that's what we're playing with. That's what we're playing with. You're good. And some of the staff is raising some questions on that front. Let's get on to the next one, shall we? Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny Dilly.
As soon as this man was announced to be our offensive coordinator, the dilly jokes came out. So is that a negative? We'll see. I still think it's funny. You know what I'm talking about? Dilly, the beer commercials. They're all like medieval.
I knew it from somewhere.
Coors Light.
I knew I was
Bud Light.
I knew that I was equating dilly to some kind of like UK pub thing.
Yeah, it's probably like UK, like a UK slur for something really bad. But dilly in this case is just reference to the commercials. So a lot of people, you're going to hear a lot of that. I think it's funny. We'll see if it's well,
because
it may get old. It may get old. Maybe there'll be like an NLI, NIL. Oh my God, I'm losing it. Anyways, Kenny Dillingham. The knock on this dude is, again, he's even younger than the dude before. This is mind blowing. This dude is my age. Can we get a face like my face next to his face here for comparison?
Oh yeah,
because he looks a lot. Okay, this dude is my age. Anyone who's listened to this episode or is in general a Quack 12 fan knows that I do not have my shit together. And I feel like I am an average 31-year-old man. I feel like I represent 1990 very well. This dude, who's looking like me, honestly, looks like me if I had to like look a little more presentable.
You know who he looks like?
What's that?
There's an actor. He was on Weeds.
I think I know who you're talking about. Good. Yeah. Well, this guy.
It was the guy that played a military guy who sold her drugs. And he looks like him.
Well, maybe that's a knock then. You know,
that's the conspiracy. They're the same person.
Kenny Dillingham. He is from Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, I know that's not going to be a perk for Schroed over there.
I don't know how I feel about that.
He's from Phoenix, Arizona. His alma mater, Arizona State. That would be kind of fun if he got really good and then replaced old Herm Edwards over there in the end game. Maybe that's his end game. He wants to go back to his precious ASU. 2012. Yeah.
Could you imagine? I bet he will.
Yeah, maybe. Or a better job is probably what he'd rather have. But so again, a young ass dude. He has been an offensive coordinator. His first time being offensive coordinator, well, outside of high school, was at Memphis. And they had a pretty actually sweet offense, if I do remember, in 2018. Something you'd want to watch. He was also the QB coach there. He's been a QB coach for quite a bit of his tenure here. And also he was an offensive coordinator for Auburn in 2019. That's where he got his Bo Nix connection. That is why Bo Nix is on our team. And we pray to God that we get a good Bo Nix.
Adam, this just in.
What's that?
Pablo Schreiber.
That's the guy's name?
That's the actor's name.
Okay.
Pablo Schreiber.
Everyone, feel free to look that up. If you're driving, pull over and look it up.
They look pretty similar.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. So Dillingham, yeah, Memphis. Dilly.
It's the worst.
It is pretty bad. And then he went over to Florida State. Now, this is where it's not a scandal, but this is where his reputation is a little more tarnished. Florida State ain't been good since who. I mean, since before, really, since Jimbo Fisher left, and kind of upper deckered the whole program when he left.
Right.
left a fish in the ventilator, basically. But our man Will Taggart, Turnhill will lie to. Oh, I already said that. He goes down to Florida State, and it ain't good, and they're still not good, even though he's not there anymore. And their offense wasn't very good, but that's for a bunch of reasons, not necessarily just because of him. Norvell liked him. That's good. Someone, I don't know. But now we got him, and it's clearly because he has close connections with our head coach, Dan Lanning.
Right.
So I don't know what to say about that, man.
No scandal.
No scandal, though.
He is scandalous.
That time, I would love to see, in 2016, 2017, that's when our man Dillingham and Lanning are getting together. This is the first time, really working on the same staff together. And clearly that bond was strong enough that he's like, man, if I'm ever a head coach, you're who I'm coming after. So that does intrigue me. That being said,
over lines of cocaine.
yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, oh man. Oh,
it was a real eastbound and down type of situation.
They're in Memphis. They're like, oh, let's go to Beale Street. Am I right? Memphis.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Beale Street is in Memphis.
Yeah, see, I'm cool. I'm hip. I know my southern states. No, I don't.
That's the only reason why I can fact check and be like that's correct is because of the song that goes, well, I was walking in Memphis. I was walking with my feet 6 feet off of Beale. Do you remember that shit?
I don't know the song, but I
why do I feel the way I feel? Next.
Oh, sorry. We both. Oh, I'll let you do it. Okay, now here's where the scandal radar machine.
Well,
really
let's
start
break this
beeping.
down too, please.
Defensive coordinator Tash Lupoi. Now, a lot of people very excited for this guy because he's a very good recruiter, wherever he's been, even. He was now, and he has a ton of Pac-12 experience, is why he's always been rumored for us. As a coach, well, he played for California. We should say that he's from Walnut Creek, California, which I think isn't that where Sabrina Ionescu's from? I want to say not from because from. I think it is. I think so. Anyways, so that's possibly a plus on his side. But his first coaching job was D-line coach because he was a defensive lineman for Cal, 2008 to 2011. Right. Now, that's where his first scandal popped up. Now, Aaron, do you have any information on that?
No.
Have you found anything in that? Okay, good. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
maybe that's
under investigation for the NCAA no.
Okay, but then Washington.
I have his Garbaggio at Washington, but not his Garbaggio at.
Well, I believe at Cal, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Cal is where he was telling his players to purposely pretend like they're injured. I believe I'm on the right track there.
Now, what is this about? He went to the Cleveland Browns in 2019?
Yeah, no, he got, for a bit. Yeah, he went to the NFL.
For one season.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out. NFL is a cruel mistress, my man. But, sorry, so the Tosh faking injuries here, that's really what I want to look up.
Oh, this is an opinion piece that is not meant to reflect the opinions of the entire CGB writing staff. This was written then, therefore, by Avinash Kunath.
We may want to leave a marker.
We all knew the clock was ticking on Tash Lupoi. We all knew that even as we made big recruiting victory after victory, that Cal was going to have to pony up money to keep him. He was too valuable, too coveted, too sought afters.
No, this is here.
There's nothing here about controversy.
Here's what I'm talking about. So,
However, they did call him Tash the traitor when he
I
went
love
to
that.
Washington, which is
I know.
wild.
I feel like this is that kind of thing where the dude, like, let's say this whole coaching staff is a pirate ship. I think that's a fun analogy. This is the dude, this is the Blackbeard cook dude. You know what I mean? This is the guy where it's like, that pirate is especially shady, but hey, we need all hands on deck. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this guy's going to somehow screw us over somehow. Because this is what I'm talking about. Cal coach confesses to faking injuries. Now, this is in 2010. California was down an assistant against Washington because defensive line coach Tash Lupoi was suspended for instructing a player to fake an injury against Oregon on November 13th. That is freaking right.
You know how often I bet that happens?
Well, it definitely happened
about
more.
it. It's such an easy way to get your team an extra time out, or at least just your team a couple of minutes of rest, or to break it up. I was thinking about it all season. So there were some guys that went down where I was like, that's not real.
Well, sometimes it doesn't
sorry.
help you out all that much besides the extra time, but especially against the Ducks at that time, which were the groundbreaking, like, super fast team, and they wanted to, like, do a play and then run to the line and do the next play as fast as
Sure.
possible.
So he came up with a little trick play.
Yeah. If you do a little like, my leg, I just need to stretch really quick. Okay, I'm good now. Like, all your defense gets a little bit more of a breather. And so he definitely did that, and he got in trouble for it. And aggressive recruiter, which always sides to you, like, he's probably, paying off players, which is cool now. So that's good.
Hey, also, it was always cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was down.
I think at all times, any kid that got money, that's fine.
Yeah,
They
well,
deserve it.
then you're fine with what happened in 2013 under Steve Sarkisian at Washington with Tash Lupoi, in which he was, the ace recruiter for the Huskies, was put under investigation for not quite paying a player. Aaron, have you heard this one? Have you found anything about this?
This is the
one?
tutoring thing.
Yes.
Also, again, fine with it.
Do you have the details on it? I think I got it here. It was they gave him 3,000. So it was for Mike Davis, a throwing coach who helped Basham win the state. Oh wait, no.
6 weeks of allegations that he paid $4,500 tutoring fee for Huskies defensive lineman recruit Andrew Basham.
That's right. And then also $3,000 to cover private tutoring and such. Yeah. So, I mean, again, these scandals don't sound the worst when you really say them out loud. But
Now,
maybe
here's the thing, though.
What's that?
The NCAA's investigation into alleged recruiting violations committed by former Washington Huskies assistant coach Tash Lupoi failed to unearth any evidence to warrant penalizing him or the program.
There you go.
So, you know what? Here's the thing. This is why I like this guy. He is absolutely unafraid to try anything at all costs in any manner. He's not playing dirty.
Well, no, he is playing dirty.
Keeping it clean.
He's certainly
I mean, I love him. I'm 100% in with this dude.
If he gets us to the national championship and then the next season we're like disqualified and lose 10 years of scholarships, I'm fine with that. I want one natty. I will sell my soul, and I do not care how we get it.
What if he gets us there? We take the award, the reward, around this time or a few weeks later after the national championship. It is uncovered that maybe he was doing some illegal things, and they strip it from us.
Ooh, I
don't want that.
I don't want that. I want it to count. But if it was like the next year, that's when all the shit happened. I'm fine with that.
He uses this upcoming year just to
I mean,
teach him how to,
especially if it's
low
just
level cheat.
if it's like paying cheating, as long as it's not I'm not talking sex scandals here because that's rampant in so many of these programs, and I don't want that. But like if it was, I mean, some of these things like, just straight up paying
Here's
players.
what I like about him. He spends money. He bends rules.
All right, I didn't
Because I
think you were
shit you
gonna.
not. In every other sport, the whole faking a foul, faking an injury, it's
Flopping,
nonstop
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously been in the NFL. I've watched it in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, it's just obvious.
Well, you think it's
And
all
then they
fake.
cut to commercial break. Everyone wins. Because that's the thing. Fake an injury, everyone wins because now we get to dump commercials in front of people. Teams get to rest up. We're low key, quietly talking about how we're going to change our game plan for the next play. And now we're back. Oh, he's totally fine. It's a little tweaked. He's going to sit out for a play.
Has this been Conspiracy Corner?
Bro, this whole segment is actually Conspiracy
Oh yeah,
Corner.
that's right. So Tosh Lupoi, we should say this too. Alabama is famous for this. The school for coaches who were bad but are now good. That is literally what it's been for so long.
There's a
Because
place place that is a school for all the bad coaches to go to.
well, basically, I mean, Alabama will be like, okay, you're going to come over here and you're going to be an analyst. You're going to be like, you're just going to be some dude that helps us out. Like, watch this piece of film or help us out with this, and they got so many goddamn analysts there, and they're like high level because it's like a great job to get you to another job because people want to hire away Alabama staff. Hell, we hired one of our best coaches of recent years from there, freaking Mario Cristobal. He was the offensive coordinator, and he was trying to correct kind of his path from being a basically failed head coach at FIU, even though he had, actually did some good there too. But you also got like Lane Kiffin, who's always been kind of on the edge of like controllable. He went to Alabama. He got kind of corrected. Steve Sarkisian was an alcoholic and basically got fired for those kind of shenanigans and being a mediocre coach. He went to Alabama. He was an analyst. They won a national championship. Now he's head coach at Texas. Like, it's literally a correction school. And Tosh Lupoi graduated from that correction school. So
you
should
could
say that's
say that Alabama is the fence.
What do you mean?
When you've got a dirty product, it's where you take that dirty product to get cleaned up and clean to sell again.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's squeaky clean. Yeah.
I don't want to go super deep into conspiracy, but maybe this is also just kind of everybody knows it. I don't know.
Whoa.
But Alabama seems like they are the school that is just slipping envelopes filled with cash to anybody and everybody.
Bro, this is long before like the NIL deals. And like there were definitely, you could watch on Twitter where it'd just be like someone commits to Alabama, or like a week before they commit to Alabama or officially commit or something like that. They'll be like, oh, check out this new car I got in Alabama
this 1998 colors. Mustang.
Yeah, look at this car that my uncle bought me, because that's how they really do it. It's like money to the uncle, Cam Newton style. But yeah, so Tosh Lupoi, 3 years at the best dynasty football team as of right now for college football. 3 years at Alabama, and then he went to the NFL. Rumor is that he was they were saying like he can't cut it at Alabama as our defensive coordinator. So yeah, you got to go. Like you're not going up. In 2018, I believe they took away some play calling duties even. But then he went to the Cleveland Browns as a D-line coach, as you said. 2020 went to the Falcons, D-line coach and run game coordinator. Jacksonville Jaguars in 2021. That's a cursed, terrible program because Urban Meyer is the goddamn coach
Right.
there, and he's a scumbag. Yeah, and now he's back in college, and a lot of upside with him. I mean, maybe he won't be the best like X's and O's, defensive coordinator, but Dan Lanning is supposed to be that. So maybe this guy's just gonna be a great recruiter and like break some kneecaps when we need it.
Look, if there's one thing this dude knows what to do, it's hit hard.
Oh yeah,
Look at him. He just looks like
and hit him
I
where it
hit
hurts.
hard. That's what I do.
This photo is so weird that the university put out to like say that they got it. It's the only like photoshopped looking one, and his head doesn't really match his body. Anyways,
Yeah,
let's go on
just
to the
like it was cleaned up
yeah
a lot.
A lot of these other ones we can go a lot faster because I mean those are the big boys: defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, head coach.
Right.
But let's see these other. Adrian Clem. Adrian Clem from Inglewood, California. I love these West Coast boys. He's going to be the associate head coach, offensive line. He's going to be the run game coordinator. Yeah. So he was actually he played college football at the University of Hawaii. I love that. I love my Rainbow Warriors. He was drafted by the Patriots. Oh yeah, in the second round of the 2000 NFL draft. That's the same one that Tom Brady was drafted in. He spent 7 seasons in the NFL with the Patriots, the Packers. He won 3 Super Bowls as a member of the Patriots. Hell yeah. Talking about like my man Patrick Chung too.
Now this dude does got a little bit of dirt underneath his fingernails.
He does? Is that true?
UCLA suspends Adrian Clem during rules violation investigation.
Let's hear it.
The suspension and investigation were announced Monday by UCLA, which released a statement that read, UCLA was recently made aware of alleged NCAA rules violations involving Adrian Clem, a member of the UCLA football coaching staff. UCLA immediately reported this information to the NCAA and to the Pac-12 conference and has placed Clem on suspension with pay. UCLA will continue to work. Oh, and by the way, at this point, he was making $760,000 a year.
Ooh.
UCLA will continue to work jointly and cooperate fully with the NCAA while this matter is being reviewed. So, specifics about the allegations against Clem are not known. Great.
Well, there you go. So he started off his coaching career as a grad assistant at SMU. Then he got to UCLA in 2012, ended his career that year in 2016, the suspension, I guess. Then he went straight, for like 3 years, kind of chilled. And then in 2019, I have no idea what he did. 2019, he went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 2019 and 2020. And then 2021, he became their offensive line coach instead of their assistant offensive line coach. And a lot of people, I've heard this, just the scuttlebutt from Steelers fans, just from random forums, because I'm not a huge NFL guy. But Steelers fans seem to be like, good, bye. As far as like for our offensive line, because their offensive line has been kind of garbage. However, I've been hearing that they haven't been kind of investing in that offensive line. And in the NFL, like if you're not, like
you're
in
screwed.
College, it's like they can get better and better. In the NFL, it's like you're either a leader or you're not. And like you can get better, but like there's a big difference between a finally gelling offensive line and then like a true NFL good offensive line. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of the amazing like pass rushers they have and shit.
Adam,
so who knows? Yeah. Who knows how that is?
I have, of course, because that was old news.
Mm-hmm.
I have found the ruling of his and also discovered now what his actions were. Would you like to hear how that all got resolved?
Let's hear it.
The NCAA penalized UCLA assistant football coach Adrian Clem with a 2-year show cause order on Friday for arranging training services and housing for 2 recruits worth $2,400 that he paid for outside of NCAA rules.
What a bastard. Can you imagine that? Providing houses, providing a place to stay. Whatever. Yeah, he
so
cheated.
fucked. It's like he's helping.
Yeah.
Buttheads. I hate the NCAA. Who needs rules?
I know. It's ridiculous.
Again, so
wait.
No.
Here we go. We almost missed this one, and this one I really don't want. This is another thing we do in the the Quackground check. We type in their name, and then we type in assault, and sometimes those offer different results. Jim Mora, Adrian Clem, UCLA staff bullied injured players. Lawsuit alleges. This is from the dailynews.com. Bruin training staff failed to follow concussion protocols and denied exams for injured players. Former players charge. I'm going to read this right from the Daily News. When UCLA offensive lineman John Lopez... Sorry, it just kicked me off for a second. Well, what it comes down to is
offensive lineman John Lopez was unable to practice because of post-concussion symptoms. Bruins offensive line coach Adrian Clem began harassing and humiliating him on a regular basis, according to one of 3 lawsuits filed against the UCLA football program this week. I will make it my mission that you never see the field, Clem told Lopez, according to the suit. In fact, Lopez said he was singled out by Clem in a special drill in which teammates dealt Lopez repeated hits to the head.
Yeah, that's a big old fat scandal. Then you got a quote here. "Come on, guys," Clem said, according to the suit. "Fuck them up." So that ain't good. That's a big black mark on his record there. Adrian Clem, we got our eye on you. That's all we're gonna say. Between recruiting violations and hey, this is allegedly. This is a lawsuit.
Yeah. Also,
allegedly.
I gotta say again, allegedly,
Mhm.
but also, he's probably not the only coach that's doing that on a regular freaking basis.
Yeah, but we don't want them on our staff because certainly not all of them are.
Yeah,
let's
that's
go
true.
To
Okay, great.
Let's
point,
go to the
great
next
point,
one.
Fair point.
Let's go to the next one.
Next,
Clem, you're on watch. Junior Adams, the traitor of Washington, as he will forever be known. He was the wide receivers coach over at the Husky Land. However, he decided to flip, become a Duck, baby. Now, he joined their staff in 2019. In his first season, he oversaw an up-and-coming receiving core that showed continued improvement over the season. He had senior Aaron Fuller, who was really good, 59 receptions for 700 yards, and finished his career number 7 in UW history with receptions and receiving yards. He also had, so I don't know. There was a lot of problems with Huskies receivers over the years during his stretch there. A lot of that was more due to injury or coaches preferring to play veterans over the younger talent. A lot of the younger talent is talent that he recruited. So that's a big thing, because that's what we're wanting is elite talent, elite receiving talent.
right?
Did he coach them
gotta
up?
have that.
Yeah. Did he coach them up? It's like, who's to say? A lot of Huskies fans aren't exactly hurt about this one, but I will say it's almost like I don't know if it's like they're really like, oh, you can have him, we don't want him, or if it's that thing where it's like they doth protest too much, if you know what I mean. Like maybe because it's a lot of them seem to just be like, we didn't really want him, but maybe you're crying a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any scandal.
There you go. Outside of, the Huskies, what they believe. But yeah. So I hope he's good. He's a co-offensive coordinator and receivers coach. Let's go on to the next one.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
So fast.
Joe Lowrig, definitely the shadiest looking photo that the U of O put out on Twitter. Special teams coordinator and the Nichols coach.
He looks like standard military.
Yeah, he looks like a lot of my neighbors in the area that I live in. I'll tell you.
Sure. Well, he'll fit right in. Welcome to the neighborhood. You look just like all of Adam's neighbors.
Joe Lorig. He was born in Edmonds, Washington.
Huh.
And he played for Western Oregon University. Hey, there you go. Yeah, he's coming over from wait, what the from Penn State. So there you go. 2 years at Penn State, a couple years at Memphis. So this is, I'm sure that's where he met my man Dan Lanning in Dillingham. They probably all got wasted, like we were saying, doing a little of that nose candy.
That cocaine.
By the way, that is not slander. This is a parody podcast. This is comedic. Nothing we say should be taken seriously. And we apologize to Dan Lanning. But yeah, doing that blow, having a good time in 2016, getting this staff, his dream staff together. Like, oh man, and you're going to be special teams and you're going to be like OC. And I'm probably going to be coming off a national championship win, I bet. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't find anything bad on this guy. What about you?
Nothing. I got nothing over here.
We give him a pass?
Pass.
Okay.
God. Ready? Next. I gotta we gotta start plugging through these, bro. We got
I know.
We're
we can't be
halfway. Jeez.
I don't like this guy's name. Now I know that's a controversial thing to say, because a lot of people, really like their name, but Matt Powledge. I feel like I'm always saying the wrong word. Powledge. It's almost like knowledge. Maybe his last name is Powledge.
No, Matt Powledge is when you take power and knowledge and you combine them.
I hope he says that actually in his training as the co-defensive coordinator.
It's the coolest thing ever. I actually think I friggin' love this guy already.
Okay, I got his scandal. It says he's murdered 3 and it not joking.
I'm for it.
I just thought that you're like, hey, I'm a fan. I don't whatever.
Oh, no wonder I like this guy. He's from Baylor.
Of course. He's from your stomping grounds. So this is really short after the hiring of Kenny Dillingham. The report started coming out. They were getting him. Baylor. He was Baylor safeties and special teams coach there. And he's also a freaking young coach. Also was named to the AFCA 35 under 35 list last season, which is probably like most of our staff. So like, again, a young up and comer. That's pretty cool. Last year, been working under Dave Aranda, who's a great coach. He had 11 years. No, he's coached for 11 years. Sorry. 2 seasons at Louisiana. He also, so I don't know. I'm not finding anything bad about him here.
I got nothing.
You like his name. I like his look. I like his young attitude. Whoopsh, quack. Carlos Lachlan, running backs coach, looks cool. Like the way he's leaning forward in this photo.
And now running backs coach is actually something we didn't have the best of. Is that correct?
I didn't mind our running backs coach, Mastro. I don't know. I mean, I never really thought that was a position of weakness for us. It was a lot of whenever our running game wasn't on point, it was mainly because the defense could hone in on it because it's like, oh, you're just going to run the ball. Like we dare you to throw it then. But yeah, I don't know. Is it an upgrade? Probably not, just because this guy's a young dude. Again, or I don't know. I don't think it's an upgrade. Maybe I'm down on the hire. Maybe I miss Mastro.
I got nothing on him, bro.
I got nothing on him. I'm bored.
Let's
on the next one. Pew! We're gonna find out he was like a murderer too. Demetrius Martin. Cornerbacks coach, came over from Colorado, I do believe. He was coaching over there, and I don't know. He's worked with some good players, that's for sure. including a new player. This is kind of like quacking news almost. A new cornerback who, after both our starting cornerbacks left for testing their luck in the NFL draft, we were looking really thin on that. And Christian Gonzalez came over with our man Demetrius Martin, because he likes
That's
him.
kind of cool.
Yeah, that happened again. This is like when you hire away a coach. A lot of times they steal away the best players.
Now
I'm
you see,
sniffling. I swear it's not. I've been talking a lot about cocaine this episode for some reason. I
Can
swear
you?
I do not inhale. I just a little sniffly for the folks at home.
What's interesting here too, by the way, Adam,
What's that?
is that for some reason it's illegal to give a kid enough money for food and shelter.
Yes.
But it is absolutely totally okay to completely uproot whatever level of life or normalcy they had at a school and move them across an entire country.
Well, technically they're doing that on their own accord.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. We're being like, come over here because you don't have a future at that school unless you're coached by me. Also, it's going to cost you $5,000 to completely change your life.
Well,
and yes, the major you wanted to have as a backup plan, because who knows if you're going to go to the NFL, it is not offered at the new school. Come on, let's do it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I bet you Christian Gonzalez is really excited, especially because he's going to be most likely a day one starter. So that, that's why he's making the leap. But I get what you mean, that it's very hypocritical.
Yeah, I'm fine with it all. But if you're going to make a move, then giving them money to help out with that ain't a bad thing.
I agree.
It's, in fact, the correct thing. If you want that player so bad, pay for him to come with you.
Well, technically that's still illegal, but what we're doing now is NILs. Come to Oregon and you'll get some money that way if you're good enough. It's a really weird, fucked up situation, but whatever.
For next season, I will be coming up with a new crypto coin that will be turning players into NFTs. So be on the lookout for that, everybody. You can get my own specialized Oregon Duck player NFTs.
Making an NIL too, and you really got something there. So I'll tell you this: he's from LA. His alma mater was Michigan State University, but it's nice that we got a West Coast guy. He also played at Michigan State. Oh, well, I already said that. Duh. But also a 48-year-old. So it's nice to have an older guy, honestly. So these, kids aren't playing around, playing grab.
Quarterbacks, I feel like, is a smart spot to have somebody with some tenure.
Oh, yeah. And this guy, so he started his career, really his head coaching career, or in high school, 1999, 2000. He was coaching high school for a while. Then he was a defensive backs coach for Pasadena City College. Then Mountain Sacramento, maybe it's called. Then he finally got to USC as a general assistant. Then he got to Washington 2009 to 11 as a cornerbacks coach. 2012 to 17, UCLA defensive backs coach. Then a couple of years at Arizona, a couple of years at Colorado, and now he's in Oregon. He's almost completed the Pac-12 punch card. He's nearly there. I think that's his goal.
Adam?
What's that?
I'm realizing now all of these photos must be photoshopped.
Some better than others.
Because
some better than others.
How are they all already in the stadium with Ducks gear on? How did they already get them there for these shots? I don't think so.
People are good, man. Photoshop's good. Okay, let's knock off these last two. I don't even care. I don't care if they're cheaters or scandalizers or anything. Drew Merringer, tight ends head coach, yay or nay? Oh, you're gonna like where he's from. Texas. I know you're gonna like where he's from. Arlington, Texas.
Very boring place. Home of the Dallas Cowboys.
He played for Rice. You know where that is?
Yeah, of course I know where Rice is.
Yeah. Well, there you go. He was the quarterback.
Houston.
And I don't
Rice is a very good school, by the way, so you should know where it is.
Well, whatever. He's going to be the tight end
I know
from New Mexico.
I know this already. Drew Maringer has a gambling problem. As 247sports.com puts it, new Texas assistant Drew Maringer is gambling on himself.
Oh, you got me there. Okay, so he's got a gambling problem. That's all right. Let's go to the next one.
Next, you got to enjoy it when a guy takes a shot on himself, There's nothing like self-confidence.
He was the co-offensive coordinator in New Mexico, I'll say that. Tony Tuiati. Any news on him? I got nothing.
Let's see.
He was the defensive line coach in Nebraska. He's 52 years old.
I got a lot of articles that are asking the question, who is Tony
who
Tuiati?
the hell is this guy? Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, so there you go.
Next.
He's a mystery. He's a phantom. Next, Wilson Love, our new strength and conditioning coach.
Look at this guy.
He looks so weird.
Look, this guy is going to be great at strength and conditioning because you can't even see him. He comes in, he gets the job done, he gets out. I will say I'm going to miss my favorite mustachioed man in the entire world. But when we see what Wilson Love looks like, that's when we'll
tell you what, I'm going to pull up just for you a picture of Wilson Love, and it's kind of tough after like a long time of like, oh man, Aaron Feld, like that's a face. You got to love that guy. We're going from that to this. See what I mean?
Oh, sure. I know a guy that looks exactly like this guy.
Okay.
Wow. Well, he's like actually a mashup of two people that I know.
Okay. So
zoom in on that big guy. Zoom in on that photo.
I can't. Wilson Love, bing, bang, boom. Alabama is his alma mater. Let's finish. Let's kill this episode.
Yeah, I love how you just like close it out. Get it.
Oh, I'm done. Shad Williams, yay or nay? Is he going to bring this program down with 10 years of sanctions, or
this guy got
also went to Alabama? Also went to Alabama.
I saw that part, but even that.
He's from Andrews, Texas.
Sure.
Okay, there you go. That's all I got. Was the well, I mean, he's been actually at Oregon, I should say. He's remaining on the staff, so he's been at Oregon for a while. There you go.
Wow, what a way to close it out.
Yeah, I know. Real fart at the end there.
The guy we didn't even know we had.
So I forgot about him. Really, we only got one problem, it sounded like, if you know what I mean. And that is our man, Adrian Clem. We're going to keep an eye out on him. Hopefully,
you're so wrong about that. That guy is so clean.
Okay.
He's doing the right thing. The screaming thing.
Yeah. Not the best.
I wasn't in the room, so I don't know what happened during that practice. I don't know what happened, what was going on with him and his personal shit.
Allegedly.
If he's got, all I know from a player's perspective, when you have a bad attitude, they make you work on it. So,
well, according to that article, his bad attitude was just, I am in concussion protocol. And he's like, fuck that guy up. So not looking too good for our man. But I love the way you're spinning it, because that's what we're here for.
No, I
propaganda,
think that's fine.
Baby. This was all parody. Everything we said cannot be taken as slander, because this is a comedic podcast.
Hey, Aaron, I'm not saying anything bad about these guys.
That is true, actually.
I think the player is probably just acting like a little baby.
Got a concussion.
Big whoop. Welcome to football.
You're about to get sued by that. On that very sour note, we're going to end this episode up, I guess.
Oh, man.
If you like what you heard, then, Yeah, reach out to us. All right, everybody. We're going to be following basketball. Again, check out the Quack 12 Patreon or the quack12podcast.com to figure out ways to help us out. And go Ducks.
Go Ducks!